Cowboy Nation, welcome back to the Gridiron Sports Podcast. I am your host, Majestic Sounds. Listen, Cowboy Nation, we have every reason to be upset because we have lost another home game. We are now officially 3-3, and we are 0-3 at home. When we used to be unbeatable at home, but ever since that wild card game against the Green Bay Packers, we have lost each and every home game. And this game simply reminds me of the New Orleans game that we lost in week 2, if I'm not mistaken. And then we come back week 3 and nearly got blowed out. Nearly got blowed out in week 3. And I told you guys this. When week 3 came around, if anybody remember, you can go back and look at the episode week 3 against the Baltimore Ravens when Derrick Henry ran all over us and Lamar Jackson did whatever he wanted to do. I told you guys, somebody going to get fired. And after losing another home game, somebody has to get fired. Now, Jerry Jones said he's not firing Mike McCarthy right now. But in my humble opinion, somebody needs to get fired ASAP. But first, guess who needs to get fired first? Jerry Jones needs to fire himself as the GM. The first thing he needs to do is bring in a GM. We need a real GM. Jerry Jones is an excellent businessman, but he's not a good GM. That is not his cup of tea. Because during the offseason, ladies and gentlemen, he did not bring in enough talent for this team. A lot of us was jumping on the table, screaming to the top of our lungs to get another head coach up in here. You guys, let's contextualize everything real quick. Number 1, Mike McCarthy is on his last year in his contract. Number 2, Brian Schottenheimer is on his last year in his contract. Number 3, Mike Zimmer only had a 1-year contract. So it looks to me Jerry Jones don't have no faith in them guys. It looks like to me Jerry Jones don't believe in the coaching staff. We got a problem in Big D, Cowboy Nation. Number 1, we need a GM. Number 2, Jerry Jones needs to make up his mind what he's going to do with this coaching staff. Because in my humble opinion, somebody got to get fired. The play calling is horrible. I'm going to say it again. The play calling from an offensive perspective is horrible. And let's not forget to mention that Dak was under pressure all game long. All game long. Dak and CD continue to be off and on as far as being on the same page. Sometimes they look like they're on the same page, and sometimes they don't. So our offense is yet struggling. You can't run the ball. You can't even get a chance to run the ball because you're down now. You're down 20-3. You can't continue to run the ball and you're down 20-3. Now you got to put the ball in the air, and the defense can't play honest now. What you going to do? What are you going to do? You're one-dimensional, and the defense don't have to play honest. You got to pass the ball to get back in the game. So listen, this is what I want to say before I go into these numbers and call out all these numbers. Jerry Jones is not concerned about this year. I already told you guys this, Cowboy Nation. Jerry Jones is not thinking about this year. I can prove it to you. I can prove that to you. I'm going to read off something to you guys. This is what Jerry Jones is concerned about. This is what he's concerned about. Jerry Jones recently partnered with Roger Penske to create a new street racing event for INDY CAR. That's what he's concerned about. Money. money. He's not concerned about winning. That's why he needs to get a real GM. Go ahead and just get a GM, man. Because you're not concerned about the National Football League. You're concerned about making money. You're concerned about partnering with Roger Penske to get a racing event going so you can make some money. That's all you concerned about, man. You're not concerned about winning. You're not concerned about building a better team, building a better culture, building a better roster. You're not. You can't be. Let's not forget to mention we got 9 players out. 9. How come you're not bringing in more players? During the offseason, you had plenty of time from March to August to bring in some guys that's ready right now. I have nothing against building for the future, but what about right now? I have nothing against 2-year players, rookies, young guys who don't have a lot of reps. I have nothing against that, but you need some players that can make an impact this year, right now, with experience. We need experienced players on the roster. And we need better play calling, ladies and gentlemen. We need better play calling. We need better personnel. We need better coaching. And it's up to the GM to do it. Jerry Jones is a decent owner. I have no problem with some of the things he does as an owner, but as a GM, he sucks. And he limits Will McClay. Will McClay can only do what Jerry allows him to do. Everybody's hands are tied by Jerry Jones. He's the owner, he's the president, and he's the GM. So Will McClay hands is tied to a certain extent. Cowboy Nation, it's a highly unfortunate thing for us as fans. Let's look at these numbers. All right, so Detroit had 492 total yards. Almost 500 yards of offense. 308 yards passing. 184 yards rushing. Again, we can't stop the run. We can't stop the run, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we had 9 players out, but we can't stop the run. We still haven't fixed that problem. This is an ongoing problem that's been going on since last year. We can't stop the run. Montgomery and Gibbs ran all over us, just like Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson did, just like Alvin Kamara did. It's the same problem. We allowed them to get 27 first downs. If you contextualize the game, how many yards they was getting per play? 7.5 yards per play. They essentially never seen third down. And when they saw third down, it was like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4. It was never 3rd and long. Hardly ever. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. We allowed sacks. We allowed too many sacks. 4 sacks. And not only that, they didn't punt the ball at all in the game. No punts. In other words, we did not stop them at all. No punts. No 3 and outs. In the fourth quarter, we stopped them one time without them kicking the field goal or getting the touchdown. One time the whole game. And that was on a go-ahead 4th down play from the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff, jersey was still clean at the end of the game. Jared Goff didn't feel no pressure, maybe a few times. Jared Goff got sacked a few times. He didn't get moved off his mark majority of the game. He sat back there and ripped our secondary apart. Just ripped them apart. Because when you can't get pressure, how long do you think the secondary can hold these wide receivers and tight ends? You asking for a miracle. You can't let no quarterback sit back there long against nobody. This is the National Football League. Offensive coordinators will rip you apart. They will rip your defense apart if the quarterback can stand back there. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Let me see what else. And of course, we had 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. We still struggle in the red zone. We haven't fixed that problem yet. And you can't run the ball if you don't start off fast and score first. We had an opportunity to be up 10-3, but turnovers in the red zone. Yes, shout out to Brandon Aubrey. My guy, Brandon Aubrey. Shout out to you, dog. You a great field goal kicker. But as I said yesterday on the game plan on how to beat the Detroit Lions, and one of the first things I said was field goals ain't gonna get it done against no Detroit Lions. They got a high power offense, and you're not gonna be able to outscore them kicking field goals. Shout out to Cavante Turpin. He got you in field goal range, but field goals ain't enough, dog. It just ain't enough against them. They are a run-dominant team who's going to use play action and throw down the field. And they use trick plays. Their offensive coordinator was pulling play after play after play after play out his bag. He was in his bag all game long. And it got to the point where it was start being disrespectful. And I didn't see any fight. Now, I seen Jordan Lewis being a little scrappy. Shout out to Donovan Hitman Wilson for what he did out there. But really wasn't a lot of bright spots, Cowboy Nation. It really wasn't a lot of bright spots. So we got a bye week coming up this week. After that, we got the 49ers. So in this bye week, they need to take some time off, and they need to hit the ground running after that. Dak said they're going to look in the mirror and look at themselves and come back and see what they can do. Well, I hope you find what you're looking for while you're looking in that mirror. Because all of y'all got to play better. The coaches got to coach better. And you need a GM. Jerry Jones, if you're not going to fire Mike McCarthy during the mid-season, you got to go get a GM, dog. Because y'all need some help. Y'all need some help. That front office, y'all are going to have to get busy, pick up the phone, and call some players and call their agents and make some deals happen. Or you're going to continue to lose. This is embarrassing. 47-9. I don't care if you got 15 players out. You shouldn't get blown off your own field. 47-9. Cowboy Nation, that's all I got for you today. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And the fans are upset, and rightfully so. Talking about boycotting the team. It's It's no need to try to do that, in my humble opinion, because Jerry got plenty of money. So you can try to boycott and start buying jerseys and stop going to the games and buying tickets and things of that nature. But Jerry Jones, him and his family got money. They got money. You see the man partnered with INDY CAR. So he making deals and making money. I give it to him. He's a decent businessman, but he's not a GM. To me, he ain't concerned enough about football. To me, he ain't concerned enough about the Dallas Cowboys' chances of getting to the NFC Championship game, and don't even think about getting to the Super Bowl. But we ain't gonna make it to the NFC Championship game at the rate we're going, because we have a owner / GM making deals with INDY CAR and ain't making moves in the NFL. You making moves in a whole nother sport, man. You're not making moves in the NFL. You need to be focused on the NFL. It's the NFL season. It's the National Football League, man. And you making deals outside of the National Football League during the season. They let you know where his mind is at, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboy Nation, I'm only speaking facts. And it's ridiculous. I don't mind you making money. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you need to be concerned about your team. You are the owner. You need to be concerned. You are the GM. You need to be on that phone. You, Steven, and Will McClay need to be on the phone making deals, bringing guys in, making trades, giving up some 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round draft picks to bring in some more players. And you might need to bring in some more coaches too, because the coaching staff is not getting it done as of now. But here's the only good part, Cowboy Nation. Here's the only good part, in my humble opinion. The NFC East Conference, or the NFC East Division, should I say, is still up for grabs. Well, I got to tell you, the Washington Commanders look good. So with that being said, we can't lose no divisional games this year. We got to play the Washington Commanders twice. We got to play the New York Giants twice, if I'm not mistaken. And we got to play the Philadelphia Eagles twice. We got to play against our old offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore. So during this off week, they better get it together, or they gonna find themselves at the bottom of the totem pole in the NFC East. All right, Cowboy Nation, that's my time. I truly thank you all for your time. Please don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the thumbs up for me, and make sure you share this content. Share it with a friend, share it with a neighbor, share it with a co-worker, a family member, even a stranger, even your enemy, and maybe y'all will become friends after talking about the Dallas Cowboys. DC for life.